Ruben Amorim prepared to walk away from Manchester United. We'll be talking about the players becoming unhappy with his formation and his stubbornness and not to change. We'll also be talking about some interesting quotes that have come out about Amorim to Benfica, which again, don't think that's going to happen, but we'll talk about that. And yeah, some other stories that I broke as well, but I'll go through it chronologically and sort of in the order that it came out. So Ruben Amorim could be off an escape from Manchester United after the leading candidate to become Manchester United. Benfica's next president turned up at the Etihad to watch Sunday's derby. Joe Norona Lopez has made no secret about his plans to take Amorim back to Benfica if he usurps Rui Costa in next month's election and is currently ahead of the polls. Listen, on Amorim, they're saying patience is the key with Manchester United. Ruben Amorim won't change his style, and as United have no plan or desire to change head coach. However, all sides accept that the current woes cannot continue long term. Mike Keegan has said Ruben Amorim has the backing of Manchester United, belief that he is the man to turn it around, and the impact of injuries have been noted. Then this has been reported as well. Manchester United players are losing confidence in Ruben Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system, but the club are backing the head coach for now. Some players have never been comfortable with this formation, and Amorim is in danger of losing a section of the dressing room over his refusal to compromise. Now, what I can say on Ruben Amorim, patience is obviously key. We've been in that cycle of consistently changing managers, and what I can say, I don't think Ruben Amorim is ready to leave Manchester United. He said he would ultimately stay until he's sacked, and he wants to take United back to the top, and that's ultimately something that you can. We know every manager's wanting to do that. There's just something wrong at Manchester United at the moment. Now, injuries. I mean, I don't really think you can use injuries as an excuse. Yes, Cunha's out, and Mount, who have been two important players, but we still have quality players, and it's not that the system is made for those two players, really. There's also been reported that Bruno Fernandes is frustrated in playing in that deeper role, which again, I don't think Bruno would complain. But again, that's something that has been reported. I think on sort of the system at United, I think he does have to make some changes. He has to make changes to his formation, just like tweaks. I think that will change it. That will make a massive difference. I think United and Ruben Amorim knows that this formation is not working. We have Chelsea next week, who again, we've had some good results against them in the past, but the way that we played against City, who knows what's going to happen against Chelsea. I think with Amorim, this is a tough moment for him. I mean, we've had a very poor start to the season. We've had some good performances, but in terms of results-wise, very, very poor. We've lost to Grimsby, and we spent over £200 million. So, listen, there's no real excuses for Amorim. He's had a pre-season. He's come into United, and again, I don't really think the system's a problem. I think it's the players in the system. I think playing Bruno and Ugarte when they've never really worked. Yes, they probably have at times, but Ugarte is just not good enough, and Bruno isn't a midfielder. So you're setting yourself up for danger there. Starting Luke Shaw when we know, listen, he's had a few good games, but in the long run, he's nowhere near good enough. I think starting Bomo and Ahmad, yes, Ahmad played there before, but again, just didn't work in this game. I think there's some decisions there. The stubbornness on Kobbie Mainoo has to change. He surely has to play against Chelsea. I mean, that midfield was so open against City, and it's a credit to them because they did pack the midfield. But yeah, listen, he retains support of the club hierarchy. Again, that's something that is kind of stuck throughout. I think he's someone who wants to stay at United, someone who United maintain and back. It would be pretty embarrassing in just under a year if he was to get sacked on Ineos's behalf. But you have to look at if we're 14th, 15th in November, December, which will be a year around Ruben Amorim took over United. Serious questions would have to be asked. We've had a lot of players, a lot of quality brought in. We've got rid of quite a few players as well that he's kind of frozen out. The Rashfords, the Garnachos, the Antonys, the Sanchos. But yeah, I think he is someone who's struggling at the minute with ideas. Again, he said he's not going to change his philosophy. He's not going to change his formation for nothing. And again, that may work out. But do I think we have the players fit for the system? No. I think midfield is just not good enough. You need a competitive two in there that's going to work, and I just don't think United have that combination yet. I think attacking wise we're not bad. We just didn't create any chances against Man City. There was no quality there, but I'm pretty happy with the attack. I think defensively we need improvements. I think Yoro and De Ligt look sharp. I think on that left, whether that's Martinez when he comes back, whether that's Aiden Heaven, whether that's you move Yoro to the left and you bring him Masraoui on the right, there are options there. Do I think, and again, I think Amorim's decisions are very weird. I think when you're chasing a game, changing, what was it, he bought on Maguire, he bought on, like, he changed a lot of his back three. It just doesn't make any sense unless they are carrying an injury, but he loves to do that a lot. I think bringing on Manu as he did late in the game and his stubbornness to kind of keep Bruno on in every game is also a problem. But yeah, it's tough times ahead for Ruben Amorim now. We have Chelsea, Brentford, and then I believe Sunderland. So some tough games on the horizon for United. Do I think we can come out on the top of it? Absolutely. But again, it's going to be a tough few weeks ahead now for Ruben Amorim to kind of sort out this mess. And again, he said he had time over the international break. He talked with Jason Wilcox, with Omar Barada to kind of see what the problem was, but the issue still lies. United are not good enough. And yes, as I said, we've had some good performances and positives, but United can't keep up the consistency. Look at the game against Arsenal. Had chances, but couldn't score. Should have won the game. Fulham, good in the first half, bad in the second half. Burnley was all right, but again, look at where we left it. City just totally played off the park. And listen, I don't know why. It makes sense why these players are getting frustrated, and he is going to lose a dressing room. I mean, we all know where that goes. That ultimately leads to a sacking, but I don't want Ruben Amorim to be sacked. Yeah, they're still getting to grips over the system. Again, Amorim's coming with a slick system. They've known that for a while. I don't think he's going to change it. Well, we know he's not going to change it. But I think he has to make some personnel changes. As I said, moving Bruno to his more advanced further position, putting Kobe in that midfield, just see how that kind of impacts things. Maybe, now this is what Wayne Rooney says, nearly a year on and it's 1 point a game. That's relegation form. We can't see a pattern and play. And that is true. We can't see what the future is and what a pattern of play is, and that is the most frustrating part. I mean, we're not really pressing as well. But yeah, we're not a team going for it. There's no communication. There's just a total lack of quality. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the latest. Again, I've seen Bruno talking about the midfield problems and how the goals were avoidable. Definitely they were. I think you look at Bruno, he's a player we love a lot, but a few of the goals we've conceded have been on him, unfortunately, and that's just him not being a midfielder. That's not on Amorim. He's just, well, it is kind of on Amorim because Bruno is not suited to that, and he doesn't want to leave out Cunha and Mbeumo, so that's why Bruno has been shoehorned into the midfield. I don't think he's a midfielder, especially in a 2, maybe in a 3. With a 6, 8 and a 10 he could work, but definitely not in a 2. And that is a big problem. So let me know your thoughts. But listen, Ruben Amorim ready to leave. Reports about him going to Benfica. Don't think he wants to stay. I think he should change his formation. A lot went wrong against City, and we do need to improve. The question is what is going on the training pitch, because now the kind of thing was we have more time to train. There's just no cohesion there, and yeah, huge problems. You watch us learning against what we learned against City is what we've known all the season. We can't create enough chances or be clinical enough in the final third, and the midfield is a massive problem. Yes, the goals, they were just very good goals from City, but let me know your thoughts.